Gloucestershire is the home of British dressage rider Laura Tomlinson. She's been at the top of her sport for almost a decade and is a popular figure with fans and fellow riders alike.
She is very understanding of each horse and she's very patient. I think in this game you have to be patient. At the end of the day, they're animals with their own mind and sometimes they think that they are bigger and better than we are, and yes they are, but we have to train them to be on our side. Oh, we know. The horses that she rides are huge and she's not the biggest girl in the world, and she gets these horses on side and they perform for her, which is an amazing talent.
Now 30, Laura has won numerous medals at all the major equestrian competitions around the world. Her finest moment came at the 2012 London Olympics, where she won a bronze in the individual dressage and also helped Great Britain secure gold in the team event. Laura lives and trains alongside up-and-coming rider Lara Griffith at her family residence in the Cotswolds. Her parents moved here from Germany when she was young. Laura is the granddaughter of a German billionaire and enjoyed a privileged upbringing. She began riding at the age of 3. As she progressed, she found herself initially drawn to eventing rather than dressage.
Dressage is, a subjective sport to a large degree, and it's a lot of boring work on the basics and getting things, perfect and making everything smooth and even and harmonious. And it's certainly as a young child, it's harder to see the appeal, and I certainly had to mature a bit. I was definitely in my early to mid-teens before I chose to do just dressage. Up until then I was still very much into the eventing as well.
Both Laura's parents are heavily involved in the equestrian world, and they've invested significantly in this state-of-the-art facility at their home. Laura's father, Wilfried Bechtolsheimer, is a well-respected trainer, and her mother Ursula runs a successful breeding programme. Along with her own training, Laura also helps tutor 26-year-old Lara. The two have become good friends over the years, and Lara has improved greatly since she began training here at the Bechtolsheimers' yard. This year, Lara achieved her first international win at an event in Florida.
Use your inside leg to gradually get them straight and then gradually get in the flexion without letting go of the outside contact. Make sure that you establish an outside contact.
I think it is one of the reasons why I've improved so dramatically in such a short period of time. We have every opportunity to allow our horses to be fit and happy athletes for us to compete on and make the most out of them, so it makes for a happy partnership.
Dressage is often referred to as horse ballet. Judges look for accuracy of movement, calmness, suppleness and flexibility. Such qualities all came right to the fore as Laura, along with Carl Hester and Charlotte Dujardin, helped Great Britain take team gold at the 2012 London Olympics.
Winning the gold in London was actually more relief than joy. I think Carl and Charlotte probably agree with that, because the pressure and the build-up to it was so great. I think also we sort of went into the Olympics saying, any medal in Olympics for British dressage would be huge because they've never medalled at the Olympics. And then people kept winning golds in London, the Brits, and suddenly we thought, actually, if we want to be remembered here, we better win a gold too, otherwise it'll just be washed away with all the other golds. So then, when we did win gold, it was just pure relief. I think the Olympics did a lot to help people watch dressage who'd never even heard of it before, and suddenly most people went, oh yeah, I know that one, that was that dancing horses thing, or something to music, and suddenly people were aware of that it even existed. And I think a lot of kids were inspired during the Olympics to take up different sports, and it's more accessible than people think. The majority of people I compete against aren't people like me that own their own horses. The majority of them ride for owners, and it's their job, and they make money by teaching and training horses for other people. It's actually quite rare that people own their own horses at top level.
Since the Olympics, Laura has married professional polo player Mark and had a child, a little girl called Annalisa. She didn't compete during 2014 and made a competitive return to her sport earlier this year.
It's been pretty tough. I had an easy pregnancy and rode up until I was basically 8 months pregnant, and so all was good until then.
Should we go and do pat, pat, pat?
And then, obviously after giving birth, I was back in the saddle within less than a month. I was fine, that was all fine, but it's been an amazing journey, and luckily our daughter is a complete legend and she's pretty much always on good form, and she does sleep pretty well and she eats well, so she hasn't caused us any extra problems. It's just a whole new dynamic.
Laura has not only had to regain her fitness following her pregnancy, she's also had to find a new horse. Her beloved steed Alf was retired a year after the Olympics. Finding the right horse can be one of the most challenging aspects for a dressage rider to deal with.
Yeah, it's tricky. Some people have a real stamp of horse that they always go for. I'm not like that. Obviously a horse needs to move well, have good character, and I like them sharp. I certainly don't like a horse that you have to push a lot, but I don't have a particular stamp. The key for me is that when I sit on the horse for the first time, that there's chemistry, there's something that says, I can work with you.
Now 20, Alf is enjoying his retirement at Laura's stables, while she's contemplating next year's Olympics without him.
My goal is to get to Rio at the moment. I'm still quite far off, so I've still got a long way to go to even be in contention for Rio.
Laura's new horse that she hopes will get her to Rio is called Unique, an 11-year-old mare. They seem to be headed in the right direction, with 3 victories together in 2015. So could Rio possibly see a routine as impressive as her London one?
No, I'm not there yet with my freestyle, because my next horse, Unique, I've already had her a long time, but she's taken a long time to get to Grand Prix level, and she's only just breaking into that now. I don't want to be making one now and then in 6 months' time go, actually I need to do a new one, because she's developed much further and she's ready to do something completely different. So at the moment I'm focusing one step at a time and hoping that I still get there in time for Rio.
In the months ahead, Laura Tomlinson will be working hard to ensure that she makes it to Rio. And if she does, then you wouldn't bet against her being amongst the Olympic medals once again.